Yeah, can we have the map of the garrison just for just to have it? First thing we need to do is get rid of all this sand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we could hire some laborers for that.
Comb the desert.
Jeez. Anyway, well, we have returned. We are looking at doing some shopping. So we've spent a long time under the effects of heat stroke and combing the desert. Spent a good bit of time dealing with some finger waggers and ghouls in a temple to it looked like Asmodeus. Definitely some kind of devil worship focused temple. After dealing with several of the Council of Nine, who happened to be present in that temple, we found they were prepping for the end of the world, one way or the other. They were doing some kind of ritual, which we weren't really sure what was going on until we checked the chapel room that they had sealed away magically, and we found an actual archdevil, Prince of Swarms, who was a little more than we could handle at this point in time. Through some rather clever workings, managed to use your get out of jail free card to teleport back to the garrison. And made it through safely. Just a couple of wisps of smoke and insects that survived from the prince. Made it through, and then they just kind of evaporated once they made it to the other side. And then here we are, landed back in the Phalanx garrison. Safety, home base. Now trying to figure out what our next moves are.
I'm actually glad to hear some of those insects that came through and died, so we did actually damage him. So feel a little bit better about that.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't do a whole lot to him while we were in the room. He did a whole lot to you.
We bled all over him, dude. That shit
He's gonna
stains.
have to get dry cleaning. It's gonna be a mess.
He's out of the game for at least a week.
He's already killed the secretary. Now he's gonna hire a new one. Now he's gonna go find someone else to go run the dry cleaning for him. It's gonna be a hassle.
Freaking temp agencies.
Oh, temping ain't easy.
So now that we're back in the garrison, we have literally as much gold as anybody can carry, and then some, I think. We're looking to offload some of that and plan our next direction, as we still have a couple of immediately threatening, impending events that are ongoing in the world that we have a little bit of time for based on our information, but we definitely need to prioritize and figure out what we're going to do with that.
I would like to say I don't know who's holding all of our unwanted magic items, but if we could throw those into a pile and try to convert those to potion and garrison needs and all that.
Luma's gonna go to like the center of the courtyard and basically just turn the bag of holding inside out.
Dumping like just you can see it like shaking it like a rug as you're just what's all this crap, and just making a big cartoon like pile.
I had the Mariners
Like a Polaroid picture.
Yeah, shaking it like a Polaroid picture. Nice.
I had the Mariners armor on me. I think it's the only thing I had.
He's getting his 2005 on out in the middle of the courtyard.
Oh.
It's actually scimitar and a spear +1. Some plate mail. Other than that, ooh, some acid vials. That's could be useful. Should I just drag all this onto the?
If you're looking to eventually barter it or whatever, by all means.
Yeah, well, it's a long list, so I'll let everyone else have a look see.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, Josh is just coming back, so there might be some things in here he'd want.
Yeah, I heard he wanted to vajazzle his equipment, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's like putting vines on it, right? Isn't that what that means?
Yeah. Vanazolin.
Man, I hate when you get that vanazzling disease.
I don't think I can wear a breastplate.
I don't think druids are held to the same strict guidelines as they used to be for like the use of metal, things like that they were in older editions. But I don't know if you have proficiency in medium armor or not. I think you do.
I hope I do, because I'm wearing it.
Yeah, I think druids do.
If not, I'm a big cheat face.
Cheater. Take a quick perusal.
Yeah, they get medium and shields. Although druids will not wear armor or use shields made of metal.
Oh.
It does actually say that?
Parentheses.
Yeah, but what if it was from a metallic dragon, and that's like its skin, right?
What if
Well,
there was
Scale
like this
mail.
tree,
That's cool.
right?
I'm pretty sure
And
scale
it
mail's
was like
an iron tree?
it was like a rubber tree. So maybe it was a rubber breastplate.
Iron trees are actually
Yeah.
pretty decent.
Yeah, actually,
I've
ironwood tree
seen-
is as strong as is stronger than aluminum for sure, and that's a real world thing.
Yeah, and even outside the real world, I've seen you and Bob milk enough rubber trees to know that
Hmm.
Where are you going with this?
rubber breastplate.
You're weird, man. You're a weird druid.
But as to answer the previous question about the metallic dragons, they're only metallic colored dragons. Dragon scale is an amazing source. To actually, you can have a dragon scale breastplate. That does actually exist.
We had a dragon scale plate, didn't we? Who was holding on to that?
That would make it heavy armor.
I believe the dragon scale was. Was it actually full plate? I can't remember. What do you got?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
But yes, somebody does have a dragon scale plate of some sort. I just don't remember if it was.
I thought we
Yeah.
got rid of that a while ago.
No, I don't think we ever did. I don't know why we
This-
would.
No.
It
Because no one
can't-
wanted it. I think it was medium, and Josh wasn't around then.
I know no one
Mm.
wanted it, but I don't think we've sold any of our gear yet.
I would have been the one to have it, and I'm just because of the bag, and I don't have it.
I think we had that in the before we went out into the desert. I think when we traded in the last set of stuff here at the Garrison before we left.
Okie dokie.
I think.
Yeah, I know it was
Came out of the chest that was behind the room with the spirit, the ethereal spirits, and the.
Yeah, I guess we sent it off with the lieutenant. We sent the lieutenant off to get supplies, and maybe we should have took better notes on that. But I know I was trying to get some things for my Revivify because it requires like 500 gold diamonds, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So
So,
yeah.
so maybe we do have a load of potions and supplies coming back from that. Surely the lieutenant could have handled that by now. I hope. Or he's at the top floor of the Holiday Inn and living it up right now.
Even at the Holiday Inn. To keep going back to 2005. Daisy does have a list of things that she would like to talk and ask about. But yeah, you can all. I mean, yeah, you step through the portal. Here you are in the courtyard, and Lumo is dumping mass quantities of things out of the bag directly onto the ground. And that's just kind of where we're sitting.
So we just stepped through the portal, so I'm still a snake.
Technically,
Imagine
yes.
we would have.
I think I threw in the long rest, but that was just a mechanically speaking thing.
Does it feel lighter now, Lomo?
Oddly, no.
Who did we leave in charge? It was the sergeant guy, I think.
Yeah. The lieutenant was in charge of it. The sergeant was the one giving the orders because he was more in charge.
Yeah, I think we actually tasked specifically the lieutenant to leave, to go with the goods.
Oh yeah, we sent him. Yep.
He went with the caravan. I mean, he may be back by now. We don't know. But
We were trying to leave the best person in charge while following the rules and saving face. So
Yeah.
I know we came up with some kind of conclusion for that. But I suppose we should get the guy in charge or the lieutenant or whatever and get some of these things to be sold and potions and whatever we may need for the garrison, and if the troops need any of this. But we can kind of start going through some of our individual needs too. If I think Bob's kind of excited there. If he wants to, I don't know.
So I'm gonna flag down the sergeant and ask for, I guess, a sit rep, basically.
okay. Yeah. So it was Sergeant Braddock. He was the kind of gruff guy who was really leading. He's your typical gunny personality.
You will not laugh. You will not cry.
Basically, as soon as you kind of step through the portal, particularly garnered by a like 30, 40-foot snake, and you just zap right in the middle of the courtyard, you notice a couple people on the walls immediately, like, and then they recognize who you are. They're still a little wary that, about this giant snake. And
I'd tell them to stand down.
yeah, a couple of a little bit of commotion. Just if not, at first it was like shit, like fixed to go on guard kind of commotion. You wave them off, and then they're immediately like, okay, so, not hostile, but they're like basically singing "The Boys Are Back in Town" on the walls here, as they're clamoring, seeing that you survived, you made it back, they're here, we're gonna be safe again, and then the commotion itself, brings the sergeant himself out of the main building in the middle. He was very likely taking care of business when he heard the commotion. What's going on out here?
Can't believe we made it out of there. Oh boy. We're back.
Well, he was gonna poke his head out from underneath the pile of stuff. So we
Someone
got
come
some
get
supplies.
this.
I
You,
see that.
you. Come take this stuff to the storeroom. We'll deal with it later.
And you see he just kind of motions with his arm. A couple people down off the walls. They come. They start, just piling things up in their arms and waddling over to it back into the main building, just carrying this massive pile of shit that's just got dumped out onto the ground.
I say, we're going to need to rest and regroup, restock. And I look at Lumo. It's like, we're not done with the Badlands yet. We'll go back. Your people are still out there.
Well, they're not where I feared they would be, so I guess it's not the worst of news. But oh yeah, I'll definitely be going back.
So everything was empty. I mean, you just found a big pile of chests somewhere or something.
In one case, yes. In the rest of the case, no. We definitely got our hands dirty.
And you see him kind of looking over. And I take it this is with you. This is okay.
Oh, Bijou, turn. If you could go back to being Bijou,
All right,
I'm gonna
pet her.
signal that my height is a good height. This is good. My height, thumbs up.
And
She's gonna stay a snake for the entire time she can. She just saved everybody, so she's pretty proud.
coiling around like group hug.
Oh yeah.
And this is a newcomer?
Old comer, but new to you, I suppose.
Kind of.
This is our friend the tree. Lodrin.
You look mighty banged up. Is everything okay?
We're alive.
I'm gonna look at Lodrin and be like, I think we're mostly alive.
I just tried to jump genres here.
Outlands might actually be reasonably close. Might be a Shao Kahn running around out there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Car, I don't believe your portal took us far enough that we're still here in this area.
Yeah, this is our home base now, I suppose.
Yeah, this isn't the Badlands anymore, although it's not exactly the good lands.
We're first thing you see leaving the Outlands, or the last thing you see. Goddamn Outlands! I did it again. Yeah, too much WoW. Or the last thing you'll see going into the Badlands.
We're the last line of defense. Or what stops that from getting out.
Do hope we can permanently get out of this desert soon, but yes, Lodrin, we're still in Tenaria. Has the lieutenant made it back, Sergeant?
Yeah, he was back just 2 days past. Come back a couple of wagon loads full of stuff. You'd be pretty surprised. He's not good on the wall, or in combat, or in social situations. But he's a crafty fellow.
I held back a smile. Good. We found a good purpose for him.
It's definitely by the numbers kind of folk. Seems shaking his head.
Okay, so let's go. Let's go see him and maybe have a bit of a debriefing. See what we got. And we are now feel that we need to make some more preparations for this garrison if we're going to make a difference.
I agree.
I did find the dragon skill mill.
Oh yeah, where'd we do it? Where'd we do with it?
It's in the Stronghold Funds character that Wolfman created,
Oh, okay.
as well as a little bit of gold that's left over.
Yeah, I mean, we gave it to Lumo, and Lumo, I don't care about this freaking thing here.
The okay, so kind of lost what I was talking about.
Pop up my Stronghold Funds character then. Let's see here. Yeah, Dragon Scale and the +1 longsword.
So yeah, the good news is we'll find out about what happened, like if that's still around or not, or if he was able to sell it or what have you. And when we go on, the sergeant is gonna, after everything seems okay, people seem okay. He's immediately gonna, before he kind of let you move on, he's gonna bring up the subject. He's like, we took a pretty good licking in that last battle. Those waves of undead took out a few of our folk. We're gonna have to shore up the defenses at some point. If they make it through again, I don't know we hold them off, especially if y'all aren't here.
What do you have in mind?
Well, at the very least, maybe we can requisition with the higher ups to see if we can get a few more troops, maybe reassigned. But things are kind of thin, especially out west. They got hit a lot harder than we did. They've been rebuilding. A good bit of that garrison was destroyed. A lot of effort being moved that way. numbers are down anyway. Things haven't happened, and well, nothing's really made it past the barrier in hundreds of years. So there hasn't been as much of a push to make sure things have been as safe as they're supposed to be.
Lumo is gonna light up and go digging through the pile of stuff, and he's gonna pull out the mason's tools. See, we can help.
Possibly hire some local masons in the nearby town if they're still there.
Yeah, we could outsource some physical labor. I'm sure that's doable. But what I'm worried about is not the repairs or the getting things done. You know, enough time we see after it ourselves. Timeline being the only concern. But we've been gone a little bit. It looks like we've sent some scouts out. Some have come back, some have not. Some things are moseying on through that shouldn't be making it through. It's repelling the big numbers, but the bear is not doing its stuff. We had to keep some parties out and about, trimming down on the roving. It's just going to take manpower, people that can fight. My guess is it's a lot worse off still at the garrison out west. I've heard back from 3 of the neighboring garrisons. Things are pretty rock solid around their lodestones, but ours just didn't quite recover.
Where could we get more troops from?
Well, I mean, we could definitely go out on some kind of recruitment venture. I don't know that that's probably best served your time, but we could go out our normal kind of routine, set up some tournaments, take some of the best fighters we can find. They might not be up to our usual line, but better than most. So we could send out some of our recruiters to do that. You know, diplomatic means might be another way. Maybe some aid of some other people's troops. That could come in handy. Especially if we gotta take the fight to them. You say you're going back out there. Are you gonna try to join the companies that are out there already?
We're just kind of recovering, and we have not yet formulated a plan as to what we're doing immediately next.
Yeah. I guess if we could get at least, most of them folks back, things wouldn't be stretched so thin. There's 2,000 of us out there.
What is their immediate mission? Are they just cleaning up the bands of undead, or?
Oh, I'm not in direct communication line with that folk. That's above my pay grade. But my understanding, they're doing what needs to be done. That's all that matters for me.
Is Clip Clop still here?
The
My horse.
yeah, we still got him around over in the stables, along with several others.
That's very good news to me.
Your horse is rather odd.
He's a good horse.
If you say so. Give me a good war horse that listens to all commands. I'll take that any day. Your horse is ornery. Doesn't hardly know anything.
Yeah, but he's got spirit.
Yeah, it's just who's is what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I guess I would like to see what kind of funds we have from the lieutenant and everything to figure out how much to shuffle around to help with expedite the recruitment. And if we could possibly world map, if we can get any more troops from Rodrin, I really wouldn't want to sell swords from Tenaria necessarily, but
Wouldn't have to sell the sword in order to pay for the sell swords from Tenaria.
I'll leave you guys to talk about budget stuff, but I do want to come back and make a request later.
I do have an updated map that I'm going to get in for next time that Digger's been working on for a bit. She'll give me a copy. I've got working on my module, but I forgot to upload the module. But so this is the old version of the world map.
yeah, no, she completely updated Kragos for me.
Yeah, there's quite a bit out west that's been filled in, as well as everybody's curiosity of the country that's completely inside of another country.
The donut hole.
Mm-hmm.
Super excited about learning about them.
Yeah, I doubt we could get much help from soldiers from Kragos, but I don't know about Taft. Look to the snake.
Lumo's gonna, once the talk of money starts happening, Lumo's gonna just kind of zone out and work his way over to the stables.
Okay. The sergeant's, said his piece. Now he's just kind of standing there. So I guess if you're wanting to talk to the lieutenant, he's poring over books. They're back in the office.
On my way out, I'm like, don't forget to show him all the gold we got. Give me a clap clap. Lumo's gonna do a couple laps around the garrison with clap clap.
So yeah, so the sergeant's kind of staring there, just this awkward stare. Is there any orders or?
Well, we just came through a portal and fighting for our lives like a few minutes ago. So yeah, order them to clean all this, put the stuff in the armory and storage, and tell everyone to continue about their business until further orders are given.
Wait, this guy's your subordinate?
They all are.
Yeah, Wolfen got a promotion.
Why are you
I
not
think.
playing bad cop on him? Like, hey, this place sucks. You need to make it better.
It'd be like some yeah, I just met you like 5 minutes ago. You suck. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Nah. Had like one conversation with this guy. Then I would guess if I send everyone else about their duties, probably formulate a plan and contact I forgot his name.
Sergeant?
No, the
No,
lieutenant.
like big bad wizard dude in charge of us, or me at least.
Well, there are two. Your actual commander is Commander Gregan. He's the military leader, the very top, and then he's the head of the military branch, and then Braden, Archwizard Braden, is the head of the mage division, so to speak.
Yeah, I'd get my notebook out and before I go to bed, and message him, tell him what happened, fought the demons, summonings. I'd have
Don't leave out the Archdevil. That's kind of a major plot point.
Izzy help me write up the report.
Okay. Yeah.
And we send up a report stating what happened in the caves, the undead we found, demon attacks, taking what the sergeant was saying into account, request for reinforcements.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just tell Braddock to expect strong recruitment drives. I guess we'll go over some of the logistics of that with the lieutenant, because I wouldn't know specifically what all's going to go into that.
Got some people handing out some pamphlets at the supermarket.
Bell ringers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
Then
you would be aware of how they often do the recruitment stuff. I mean, even the group would be to a degree, because that was your secondary guys or whatever coming back was as recruits of the Phalanx.
Yeah.
When y'all hit Tenaria in the first place.
yeah, that said the recruitment drive is essentially like the Black Watch. We're taking soldiers now. They belong to the wall now. Okay.
Yeah, the only difference being is the Phalanx is still a voluntary guard versus
Yep.
It also takes the top instead of the bottom. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll set up like actual competitions and the like for people to vie for the chance to become a Phalanx. Versus, we'll take your criminals and your bad.
Oh yeah.
Just had a Starship Troopers moment. Service guarantees citizenship.
Yep.
So off to the lieutenant.
Yeah,
I'm
I
nearly
figure-
overburdened with coin. What would you have me do with all of this?
we can store it into the Garrison hold.
Yeah, the quartermaster has. I mean, there is an actual.
Yeah, I have the stronghold thing open.
There is an actual stronghold within the garrison. It was Lieutenant Salar.
That's the quartermaster, or is that the? Oh, sorry, that's the lieutenant. Okay.
Yep, that's the lieutenant.
Well, I mean, yeah, if we can just say yes, Sergeant, go recruit, and he goes recruits, and I would like to do that. But if it's like Sergeant, go recruit, but we need funds and all that, then I don't know what level of micromanaging we're doing here. So
Well,
that's why I figured the lieutenant would probably know a bit more about the books, and then we could shore up exactly what we need.
Yeah, I mean, you imagine that there's everything has a cost at some level, and but you're not sure how much is covered. You're kind of your garrison's in a weird position between private and public funding, because it is it's supplemented by the phalanx itself, and then you can put into it to make it better. And then if we ever wind up moving Garrison, the things that you put into it are very likely things that can go with you, if you move to a place that isn't an area or whatever.
So want to leave an area.
Way for one to take coin off of oneself and put it into the party sheet.
Shift drag. Some. Like if you. I think that's the way.
Coin? I don't.
I know you can click and drag the number itself.
And Wolfen, if you shift drag the acid vials, they'll go all at once.
Ah, there we go. Woo.
Although it would have been a lot better if you just hadn't done that at all.
Oh.
That way I could have just sold it instead of having to now go in and.
Yeah, maybe there isn't a way. Just tell Dredd how much, and then he'll add some to the parcel or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I can do. I can
move it all back to the party thing. So.
Yeah, anything that you want to keep or want to try to actually get premium, like magic stuff that you would want to try to get premium price for, those are things that will have to get. Those are the things that would stay there, but the mundane things especially, are things that I can just sell to the quartermaster. And literally just hit one button and sell everything in the party sheet.
Even Wolfen.
Mm-hmm.
Is Tenaria. We can sell people.
It's technically true. You just can't make them the slave at first. So they have to already be your slave to be able to sell them in Tenaria. Or be under indentured servitude. And sell their contract.
Yeah, I'm just picturing Wolfen picking everything up and then moving everything over.
Yeah. All right, everything's back in the party sheet.
Yay.
Figured we.
What about those
Right.
plus ones? Do you want to take those out to try to sell for more or trade?
We can.
You do know that their value is in trade is much better than gold. Their gold,
So-
because you sell them for gold, you can get like half of their value. But if you do them in trade, they magic weapons are still a pretty big rarity in the world. Especially for the general populace. So the trade value on them is very high.
I'm really jealous of Lumo right now. He's just out riding a horse. And
I'm not riding the horse. I'm running beside it.
well, that's your version of riding the horse.
The weight of 156 coins was put into the thing, but no coins.
Still can't figure that out.
Oh, just click on the In treasure, you have the number of coins, right? You can just click and drag that over to the parcel coin description.
Can you?
Yep, not putting
Mhm.
it there. I mean, I've clicked and shift clicked it and dragged it and dropped it and done about everything I can think
I
of it.
don't.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I
wow,
don't know
yeah.
if you can do it in the coin.
Yeah, I've been trying. I haven't figured it out.
But I
You
might
just have to
can.
type it.
I can move the number over. I just don't think you can edit the parcel. I don't think you can edit those numbers like I can.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I just moved
Great.
everything over. All the
Okay.
pennies, even the pennies from Lodrin.
I need help. Now Lodrin feels much lighter, I guess.
Coins? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean he just put like 7,000 coins or 8,000 coins or something in the.
Yeah.
Jesus, Josh.
Literally.
You're holding on a lot of coin.
I don't know if y'all have ever picked up one of those giant glass jugs full of pennies or whatever, but that's a lot.
I have a maximum encumbrance of 420 pounds, and I was at 400 and something.
All right, so we're going to go see the lieutenant on the inside.
Yeah.
Izzy would drag the sergeant over just a little bit, you know, little whisperings. There's a couple things that she would like done.
Okay. I figured we'd get in, dump all this shit, store it, and then talk to the sergeant, send a message out.
Yeah, so she'll pull him off to the side, while still trying to be quiet, but not like absolutely secretive. Is anybody I'm gonna try to listen in, see what she's talking about, or
Nope. Don't care.
No, I'll let her have her
For
space.
business.
I'll start kind of just
Um.
directing everyone towards the lieutenant.
okay.
Yep.
You notice the sergeant snap a quick salute as she turns and trots after you as you enter the main building. Is the snake going inside?
Yeah, she's following the big group.
It's like, just in case we need some teleportation, we still have the snake.
What is the duration of polymorph?
An hour.
An hour? Okay. Yeah, so you enter the main building, which is then broken into a whole bunch of different areas. There's area off to the side that's got the quartermaster behind a solid door with the stronghold back there. Some of the main offices are back there. Some of the general storehouse stuff is here in the middle. Main supplies. Couple of meeting rooms. You know that the one building is the barracks. One other building is it's going to be like the dining hall, the big meeting room, that kind of stuff. But the main building in the middle is more functional than aesthetic by any means. The back offices in the back left, that's where the lieutenant is working away in his specific office. Make your way in there. Do you knock on the door, or do you
Yes.
just walk in? Or do you do
Sort
the
of
knock,
both.
the knock open?
open, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been too long of a day.
You see, like, as soon as you do, very utilitarian office, desk pile of papers, a bunch of cabinets that look like they're just for filing things and the like. Sitting behind the desk with like 3 different piles all in his hand, just kind of looking back and forth, doing comparison between pages. You knock and open, and then you can see that he kind of flusters and startles and drops like half of the papers, and they scatter on top of his desk. You guys are back.
Indeed.
Okay. So what are we doing? What can I what can I do? I know what I'm doing.
Do you?
Odrin's gonna just saunter over there right next to him, kind of step around the desk, lean over him, and try to examine some of the papers that he was looking at and see what they were.
A couple of the pages are like counting spreadsheets, and then the other is looks like troop orders, the like. It's about moving things around, and then some of the ones that scattered across his desk that he just dropped look like supplies, like a bunch of napkin math, looking at basically all logistics stuff.
Sergeant says we need to recruit. I think I agree with that. How? What do we need to make that happen?
Well, it takes people to get people. People we don't really have to get more people. But I think if we I've been kind of looking at I think if we trim a couple people from each squad, if I call in some favors to a couple of nearby garrisons, maybe we can get in a few more. Maybe send them out to a couple of the major places, maybe out of Tenaria. They've been a little... I mean, they still haven't quite got all the riots under control in Tunera. The shit's kind of gone awry there. But maybe, you know, Rodron City's still doing well. Maybe get some of the horse people from Braylon. Not actual horse people, but the people that the Braylon clans. They could help. They're really good sometimes. I could talk to the emissaries of Kragos, although they have not been responding as of late. We could even call to Taft and maybe Camden out west. And we could even talk to the pirates if we had to.
Let the people of Tenaria know that we stand here to protect them, and more of them. If they want to protect their lands, this is a way for them to do it. Maybe we can get some volunteers there. At least more quickly, so closer.
You know, he's all super jittery or whatever, but this, he kind of says, he like grows a spine for just half a minute. He's, if we could get them to stop squabbling over themselves, they might actually be useful. I mean, yeah, getting them to see reason, that's a feat, especially now.
Well, they're afraid right now. Don't want to take advantage of that, per se, but they probably should be afraid.
See him just kind of shudder. There's some of those things that are out there. They attack the walls. That's no good. Yeah, they afraid. They should be afraid.
type of resources are we going to need to make all of this happen?
Well, I've been
Besides people.
trying to throw every requisition I can think of. See if we can't get some more resources flowing our way. Both Gregan and Braden are amiable to our cause. They know what we've done. Right now, the West is under more struggle than we are, even. So they've had to funnel some extra resources there, but I've been able to pinch here and there. I think if we could funnel, I don't know, maybe 2,000 gold into a program to recruit some people, we could see some serious returns.
So that's 200 platinum, right? That's 2,000 gold.
Yes, yes.
I mean, I know we have some in the party sheet too, but I've got quite a bit of platinum we were kind of funneling to me. If everyone agrees, I'm just going to put 200 of that. And, or if someone can just make the party sheet say 486, I'll take 200 away from mine when it comes to the platinum.
You just hand it over, and he's just going to take that separate. That's a set. It's already that's spent money already in his eyes. So he's going to funnel it through the book, out of the stronghold funds directly set aside for that program.
And just make it happen.
And then I will take a good portion of my money too and put it into the Garrison funds.
Okay.
All the platinum, silver, and copper, if you don't mind. Have to remath the weight.
I wouldn't worry about it too much until we start getting piles and piles again. That's only when it looks like
okay.
only when it looks like we're getting into. I've got thousands of all the coins that it really matters. And so, what all were you putting over there?
Everything but the gold.
Everything but the gold. Okay.
And I may have some more to add to that too. I'm still kind of waiting about I mean, I know we are going to put in some item requisitions and potions. And,
Mm-hmm.
well, I asked him if there is there any tools for scrying in this garrison that we can make use of while we're here.
Some of the evokers have a couple. I mean, they got some tricks up their sleeves. So, what do you mean by tools?
Let me look it up.
That's not my area.
Thank you.
Focus worth at least 1,000 gold, such as a crystal ball, silver mirror, or font filled with holy water.
Well, I'm sure the evokers could take care of that. They've been trying to help us keep eyes on the things that have made it past the barrier on this side.
Takes a lot of magic from me, so it's nothing I necessarily want to do on the field at this point. But if they have something here, while I'm here, I could attempt to look out on some things.
Alright, also took care of Izzy's money. She told me how much she was going to keep. So. And I'm just putting it all in the parcel coins for now, and then I'll move things over from there.
You're going to buy a yacht. Shit. Party bus with a hot tub in
noticed
back.
that this land is blighted and bleak. How do you offer sustenance to the guards you have now and the guards that will hopefully be coming?
Luckily, supply lines have been a major stay in how the Phalanx operates. There's also, since we are outside of the actual barrier, some of the more divine inclined, if you will, have been able to create sustenance through magical means for at least food and water. Other supplies, we used to have to requisition that. The Sound of Zarka to our south is a port town.
I
And
would
then-
like to offer my services in that regard. Perhaps we could grow more than what we need to intake from the port city.
That could be quite helpful. It is a desert, but you have methods, I assume?
We also, I'm just saying as a side note, besides having the druid, we also have decanters of endless water if we wanted to. Lodrin could possibly help get a small oasis out here or something.
Water the desert?
Hey, what's your job out here? My job is to say a command word over and over and over.
Turn all the sand into quicksand, and then now we no. Garrison is sinking.
Stop the undead problem.
Yeah.
Fucking moat that desert.
Yeah, definitely stop the zombies for sure. Those banshees, though, those are bitches. Sons of bitches. But yeah, so he's very enthusiastic about any means to cut down on costs. You know, if we can see it done, there's not a lot of open space inside of the walls, but it wouldn't necessarily have to be inside of the walls for that kind of thing. If you have means, we can make some people see you through with any help that you need.
Last time we were here, we sent you out with some supplies, and you were supposed to be bringing back some things. So how did that go?
Not too bad, actually. Better than I thought, really. Only thing I couldn't get rid of was that dragon scale mail. I got rid of the other magical weapons and all the mundane goods. Traded it all in for some things, some funds, and some generic supplies. Re-outfitted some of the troops here, and then added to the stronghold funds. So I'm going to go ahead and put. Okay, let's see. Before I move this over, kind of hand over a sheet of paper that has some tallies of just the monetary values.
Do you want to sell off all of our mundane things right now?
So
Yeah.
just get rid of this. And so we didn't really requisition anything specific for him to pick up.
I mentioned the things I need for Revivify.
Yeah, for the I meant for the like magic items or anything for him to look for, necklaces, rings, armor, weapons, any of that stuff on his last trip. He does so. Any of the other things though, specifically, so the diamonds for Revivify. Was there anything else? Because I didn't have good, solid notes on those things that were said.
I don't remember anything else specifically. I know probably potions type things, but
Oh yeah, potions. Yeah, he did bring back tons of those. So. All right, so he handed over all the mundane items. He's also going to talk about. You can see where he's kind of gone on campaign, where he's called in some favors. Showed particularly people in Tenaria that still are trying to garner some order in the things. Looked at, you can see something in the notes on this sheet of paper that he's handing over. His name, the company commander, Kriam Bertun. He was the Phalanx company that was actually chasing the undead that were roving around the middle of Tenaria to the east, that were rampaging that town. He reports that they were successful. They finished off the last of that roving band that anybody's at least aware of. I think you already kind of knew that because y'all met up with them briefly before Braden warped them directly to the Western Barracks, or the Western Garrison that was under attack. But he wasn't really sure of what you had known. But he had talked to some of them. He basically, because of all the people that were rescued, including a bunch of high-end merchants and nobles and tons of regular people, that he's been kind of clouded as a bit of a hero, a savior. Him and his company are well honored, even amongst those that are all kind of fighting amongst themselves right now. The chaos, particularly in the main city, got way out of hand. There was massive rioting. A lot of that, they're finding out, was due to that emotional suppression that was going on from the vampire that was casting this basic blanket of being amiable across the whole city. And that suppression for so long, once that was lifted, they just flipped opposite and went fucking bananas and started rioting, burning the whole damn city down. It was pretty crazy. That's still just a couple of small bands of people that are still really pissed off, but in general, that's been quelled. The rest of the country, though, was kind of all regular. And seeing what all's been going on, a lot of them are in the interest of trying to protect an area. They're moving into the capital. They're the ones that help quash a lot of this problem. And they've seen what the Phalanx did to save a lot of the eastern part of the country. And they were able to commission a good bit of money through that. And so, because our lieutenant, still not a people person, but a very good planner, kind of found a way to funnel those funds in. And so he has 1,500 plat to add and another 10,000 gold. Through a lot of his, granted, he found people that were good at talking that weren't him, to go out and plead to a lot of these merchants, and especially as a reward for saving them, and then set up a little show tour to bring the Phalanx around and show everybody that there's all this good and try to calm a lot of the rioting. And so he was able to funnel a lot of donations, if you will, back for the rebuilding effort of the Phalanx. So that's what he hands over.
Voosh. Thank you and gratitude.
Yeah, that's 25,000 gold that he was able to, worth of value that he was able to garner and bring back.
That's crazy.
And once he kind of hands this over, you can see that he is still his jittery self, but you can see that he's really proud of himself. He's kind of beaming a little as he explains, all the things that he did.
Excellent work.
It's one of the oddities for joining the Phalanx. I didn't win a competition. I'm not good at battle. I don't understand strategy. But I know money. And I know people. I might actually be a power here in Tunira. And if I didn't have morals.
I've always found morals to be quite delicious, if hard to grow.
He's like the most weird, awkward, inquisitive look.
That side
Did
eye.
he say he's going to eat me? Or did he... Was that a compliment? Was that... He's like, not exactly sure. Like, he's not asking, but you could see that that's exactly what's running through his mind was... Threat versus...
Laden's going to use Druidcraft and kind of open the palm of his hand up, and like a little mushroom's going to sprout up there. I'll just pluck it and pop it in his mouth.
Does not seem to help his sense of worry.
So where to now?
Also, is this breastplate just like laying on his desk, or was it back in somewhere?
Technically, it's at the quartermaster. It's in the stronghold. But if you want it, you may acquire it.
Yeah, out of character, me notices that and was all about it. Nodrin.
He did say that the only thing he couldn't say, which you weren't aware of it ahead of time, but because weird timelines and when you came back and whatever. But you did hear him mention the dragon scale mail armor was the only thing he wasn't able to sell. People just wanted to give them too little for it, and he wasn't willing to trade it because it's too valuable.
That's medium, right? That's something
It
Logan
is.
can wear?
It is medium armor made from dragon
Medium.
scales.
And lightning resistance, I think.
Huh.
It's bronze.
Kind of look at Loden's armor. It's like, might fit you.
Plus magicals. Doesn't magical armor kind of fit the form, typically? I think you can squeeze into that,
Oh.
Loader.
It's going to be terribly intimidating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking spiky.
The helmet and gauntlets are necessary components to the armor itself. Just for you to be wearing the armor, just the main piece. But yeah, it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can cake it up with some mud so it looks a little less
There's some
some
water and
vegetation.
sand.
Yeah, get some mold growing on it. That way, it's a little less.
Definitely some mold.
I'd go ahead and drag it out of there. Loden, go ahead and take it.
Lodrin has fleas and everything anyway, so.
Well, now they have all kinds of little scales they
Little
can live
friends.
in. Yeah. Flea condos.
So, at your kind of praise, you can see that he's gotten all like flustered again. Just, I'm just happy to do my job. Maybe at least a job that I can do well.
Should give him kind of a reassuring nod. I guess this definitely helps.
Lodrin's going to go to the courtyard and start using his staff of plant growth to bless the area.
Okay.
Yes, in the greenery.
Trying to make the actual permanent.
Yeah.
Using the permanent version or whatever. Okay. How big of an area does it actually cover? It's reasonably sized, I think.
Half mile.
Half mile? Yeah. Basically, it turns everything on the actual map, all the way zoomed out, into green, I believe. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you go out there and you use your, start doing whatever ritual you would be doing to accompany the use of the staff, and people are looking at you a little side-eyed, like, what's this hippie doing? And then just like out from you, like growing, the plants, the earth turns from tan to brown, an actual fertile dirt as it grows and stretches. And you can even see some vines hit the inside of the walls coming up. And then, for those that are stationed up on top of the walls, they can see that it starts stretching out. It all everything turns brown first, and then after it's the actual transformation to dirt has taken place nearby, then just green starts sprouting everywhere. Grass, thick, the kind that sucks to mow. As it just spreads out half a mile in every direction, it becomes lush plains, much like Rodrin.
I don't know if anyone else had ideas for money spending for the garrison or not.
No, recruitment drive is good. We've messaged the commander to inquire about reinforcements. I'm sure that would take some time to get a response, or for him to see about that, and then probably send up, like I said, send up some scouts or something to find soldiers out there that are lost. And regroup them.
I was hoping to talk to Elvira sometime.
Use your items to talk to Elvira.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and, there's a little bit of a lull here. We can totally do that.
Okay. So I guess I'll just give the it was a ring, right?
Yes.
All right, I'll give the ring a couple of taps and be like, "Hello."
If you keep this up, you might think that you have a thing for me.
Oh, okay, I got the right number.
8675309.
Okay. So thanks for telling me about the incredibly powerful devil. That was really helpful. Um, we managed to escape him with the use of some sort of portal stone. Barely with our lives, but we managed to stay on that knife's edge and make it out alive.
Even in retreat, it was quite heroic.
It didn't feel that way. Anyways, the purpose of my is going to look at the ring, talking to you through this thing. I have a few goals in mind, and I want to run them by you. I don't know if I'm seeking approval or if I'm seeking advice, but I'm definitely awaiting a response. I want to create order or a ministry dedicated to the restoration of the Badlands, and then although that's a lofty goal, assuming it goes well, expand into other restoration goals throughout the world. I'm sort of sick and tired of the gods and how everyone has to pray to them to get stuff done when us mortals can get a lot done with our own might. We just need someone to get organized.
Right you are in that sense. But what do you mean by restoration? Are we looking at a cleansing? Or like just bringing life back to the Badlands? Or
See,
removing the unlife?
I have the advantage on you, I believe, in this, in that I know what the Badlands is capable of. It wasn't always the Badlands. I know when, and I can remember it, when it was a lush, green, fertile land with happy people, and all of those happy people are gone.
I believe that is quite true. What do you mean you... Are you saying that you were witness to the before?
Witness to the before, and more importantly, and this is what drives me, I was a witness to the change.
That's what happened. That explains much. Those fools don't know what they did.
You can see I have a very unique and driven perspective on this matter.
I would say so. It's a lofty goal. I think that, especially the gods' meddling has gone a bit too far, at the very least.
They should be guides and stewards, not playing with us as toys like a little kid. We need to look out for ourselves, and that's my goal. And to that end, I'm not officially part of this phalanx. They they are they have nice intentions, but they
Maybe
they
are
don't know
keeping with the status quo rather than fixing it.
exactly. So I want to recruit um, people of specific skills for this restoration project.
And so I feel that all of this is leading up to something you would like me to do.
The I need wizards, and as I say that, I'm kind of doing like a full body shudder. Um, and the type of wizard that I need has a tendency to think of themselves already as gods. The one that specializes in transmutation.
Yes.
I I need ones that are, and if there are ones that are, both level-headed but driven, and share the same uh, disdain for the gods and apparently devils as well, and are willing to get their hands dirty so that everything can be beautiful again.
The most powerful transmuter I know fancied himself an emperor. Seems that line of mentality got him killed.
Yeah, those finger waggers, and I mean as little as disrespect as I can muster, uh, but they can be. You do have your usefulness.
You don't have to like a tool, or the usefulness, or the methods in which a tool does its job, to appreciate that the job is done.
See that it's the I'm not an ends that justifies the means type of guy. The means do matter if we're going to rally as a world against the sort of tyranny that the devils and the gods seem to want to um, enforce on us. We need to rally the people, and so the means are very, very important.
Now, I do abstain from a lot of the bad, evil that my compatriots had done. But I'm not particularly a good moral compass myself.
You can see into a person's soul, and I think you can appreciate what makes a person good, or at least driven. And so it's that sort of talent that you have that I would find useful. If you can find any number of transmutation specialists, and you think that they would follow uh, a brave um, light wielder such as myself in the goal of restoration, then I hope you would send them our way.
I envy you in your attempts to be the compass, to be driven, to wish to lead. It's very rare, especially amongst those you seek. I'm going to be straight with you. I don't think that you're going to find the level of altruism that you seek. At least not without marketing the success in progress. You have to start somewhere, and for this type, the starting place isn't actually the starting line. You might have to grease a few wheels and take those that you might not feel optimal. But maybe some sign of progress, maybe a little glimmer of that shining light. Maybe that's exactly what can bring out the altruism that you seek. But you've got to get there first, I think. I think the best way to get there is to maybe seek after what they want first. The things that make their wheels move.
When you find these people, if you can figure out what they want, then I can decide if their wheels are squeaky or greasy enough for me to use them.
Well, you know the two things that they all want.
Power and more power.
Well, yes.
Gold? Please
Eh,
say gold.
gold is a motivator, yes. Power and acclaim. Notoriety, fame. It's not merely enough to have power, but it's the lording it over others. That's what attracts the people that you're looking at. And I imagine the best way to make that happen could, at least in today's world, be motivated by gold.
You finger waggers, do you keep tabs on each other as much as I think you do?
Some of us do.
Next place we go, I don't know where that is, but once it's decided, I may call upon you again to send me in the right direction of anyone of interest to this goal. We'll see what happens. Agreed?
Well, I think for an agreement to be made, there must be a bargain struck. And what do I get from this bargain?
If you end up being as helpful as I hope you will be, I will personally defend you against the phalanx and specifically the head wizard finger wagger.
Well, that's nice. A PR campaign. I mean, I've already been set free.
I'm not just talking about a PR campaign.
Oh.
They have not yet they haven't made any effort to save my land at all, and you have. So for that, I see you as the greater good in this. And if they try to get in the way of restoring my land and my people, then they become the enemy.
So you'd like me to ally, or be your ally, or you my ally, but in so doing potentially make me more enemies, or make my enemies more of my enemies?
I'm saying that your enemies hold too much power right now, and they should be stripped of it if they aren't responsible with it.
Aha! Now I think we're speaking language that I fully understand. And should there be this stripping of power, then that puts other people potentially to be in better positions to vie for their own acclaim. Is that what you're offering?
If your goal is to help restore this land, then you would be deserving of that power.
I knew I liked you. I think I can aid you in this request of yours.
There are going to be others that I seek, other types of people, but I figured that the finger waggers would be your fort, and therefore I should come to you first.
I have a couple in mind. Although, if what you seek is as it seems, there are many, I think, in this world that would still be for such a endeavor. Perhaps speak to one of your companions about his people. You have a couple with you that have a strong grip to nature, both physically and as a part of their ancestry.
It's a different type of finger wagger, but I definitely have their type in mind.
I wouldn't even ignore the ancestry aspect as well.
I've only met one of his type of people, so you bring up a good point. I'll have to inquire about that.
And let's not forget about, well, I guess, perhaps technically the prince among you? Maybe that's not quite right. Duke? They're more of the old ways. Their titles are not as known to me.
Did you just refer to someone as royalty? And I was kind of squinting. The only one that I know of that has any sort of royalty or title is Bijou. Is there something that I don't know about someone?
Oh, I'm sure there's many things that you don't know about someone. But I believe your inquiry is correct.
Huh. Well, thanks for that particular piece of information. I think that will be enough for now.
The old ways are rooted deep in the majesty of the earth and the spiritual power that it proffers. They would be a good ally. Look to the nations and people that believe in these old ways, or at least want to believe, even if their faith is currently shook.
Okay. Thanks again, Elvira.
Call on me anytime.
I know it's crazy.
How do I turn this off? Oh, Elvira? Okay. Okay. That's okay. I'm gonna pick click flop and leave the stables now.
As a side note, Bob did the same thing with TX. And this is a compliment. He's kind of lone wolf, and then all of a sudden he does something, and I'm like, I want to know more.
I'm gonna sprint up to the lieutenant's area now. Get back to him.
Okay, back to the office.
I think we can maybe take a quick refill my coffee break.
Yeah, I think that's about
It's been
the
2
time.
hours.
Why don't we do that? Maybe take 15, come back, see what
Okey dokey.
shopping needs to be done.
Oh yeah, I've already sent you my list.
The shopping.
The shopping. And then we can talk about the lieutenant may have some ideas about some other garrison upgrades or things that would benefit you specifically, or if you have any ideas on that regard, ways to spend your money, in addition to like potions and all kinds of stuff that are in stock in the quartermaster, plus anything that he can requisition. But yeah, let's take 15 and come back to it.
All right, perfect.
I think when we come back, Lily's polymorph will be up. She can be all that she can be. That's not a snake.